Hello, my name is Jimmy Pelfrey, and this is SOCH 100. The article I'm going to analyze is Mental and Physical Health Status and Alcohol and Drug Use Following the Return from Deployment to Iraq or Afghanistan. The authors are Susan V. Essen and Mark R. Schultz. The journal that this is in is called American Journal of Public Health and was published in 2012. This study is trying to answer the question of whether, after deployment, there are differences in mental and physical health pertaining to gender, service component, service branch, and deployment operation. An independent variable is a suspected cause of something to happen. In this article, the independent variables are the gender of the military personnel, the service component, which is like active, National Guard, or other reserves, service branch, and the deployment operation. The dependent variables is the suspected effect of the independent variable. The dependent variable in this article is the mental and physical health and functioning of the personnel that came home from service in either Iraq or Afghanistan. The hypothesis of this article is that women would report more symptoms of depression and PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, but less alcohol and drug use than men. More mental health, alcohol use, and drug problems among National Guard and reserves than among active component members, and higher levels of PTSD, other mental health symptoms, alcohol use, and the drug use with Navy and Air Force veterans. When the authors tested their hypothesis, they used the research method of surveying a national sample of U.S. OEF, OIF veterans within 12 months from returning from deployment. As referred to in the book, a sample is everyone in a specific population, the target group, that has the same chance of being included in the study. This sample was taken from 50% active duty, 25% National Guard, 25% other reserves, and exactly 50% of the population were female. There were exactly 1,043 participants in this survey completed the questionnaire. The pool was selected from 2,000 OEF, OIF veterans that have to meet the specific stratification specifications and who return from deployment between 3 and 12 months. The survey was mailed out to each individual that specifically met the requirements of this survey. The results were men reported to have higher use of drugs than women. The people with OIF deployment operations reported more difficult in the areas of depression or functioning, overall mental health, and alcohol or drug use than did OEF veterans. And there were no differences between the components of any of measures using mean scores or cut points for PTSD, alcohol use, or drug use in regards to the National Guard/reserves. In the textbook, researchers take steps to prevent gender from biasing the findings. The ethical issue in this study is that people being surveyed did not know whether their names were going to be released or not. The element that a sociologist would be interested in the study would be the environmental factors or the exogenous factors. This is because the findings is based on people who did over in foreign land. If they did not have any combat experience or anything harmful that happened to them, they would sway the results because they could come back the same way they left. An element of psychologists would find interesting would be the endogenous factors of the participant. A psychologist would know that mental state they were taking the test in. They could be completely sane or sober, with nothing affecting their judgment when taking the test, or could be experiencing PTSD. It could make them feel uncomfortable to answer the questions and experience problems with their mental state while answering the questions. Trying to gain further understanding of the novel, I took up another to compare it to. I succeeded in finding an article called Trauma-Related Correlates of Alcohol Use in Recent Deployed OEF, OIF Veterans. The article was featured in the Journal of Traumatic Stress in 2003. This relates to my first article because it shows there's a correlation between deployment, mental, and substance abuse disorders no matter what gender has come back from deployment.